When I am in trouble, eating is the only thing that consoles me. Indeed, when I am in really great trouble, as anyone who knows me intimately will tell you, I refuse everything except food and drink. At the present moment, I am eating muffins because I am unhappy. Besides, I am particularly fond of muffins. Oscar Wilde. When was the last time you numbed your feelings with food? Many people can relate to this feeling. You had a stressful day at work. Maybe you fought with one of your coworkers, or your boss criticized you in front of everyone. You go home, order a large pizza, and eat it by yourself, and have a box of donuts for dessert. Sounds familiar? Do you find food therapeutic? Do you turn to food for comfort when stressed about work, your relationship, or exams? If you answer yes, you rely on food to escape your issues, which can be a problem. However, for every problem, there is a solution. This chapter introduces the concept of stress eating, the reasons behind it, its triggers, and its effects on your mental and physical health. Stress eating explained. Food can bring comfort. Having burgers and fries for dinner after a long day at work or running around after the kids can be very relaxing and satisfying. However, if you turn to food whenever you feel stressed or upset, this is a problem. You aren't just giving yourself a treat at the end of a hard day, you are using food as a coping mechanism. This is referred to as stress eating. As it is clear from the name, stress or emotional eating is when a person deals with negative emotions or stressful situations by overeating. This behavior isn't related to hunger. It is usually an emotional response, like the saying, "You eat your feelings." In other words, you eat because you believe food will make you feel better or remove your stress, which isn't true. The stress might not only be emotional, but it is also mental or physical. If food is the answer to your problems, don't worry, you aren't alone. We have all been there. The American Psychological Association conducted a survey in 2015 that showed 2 in 5 American adults use eating as a coping mechanism. With recent events happening in the world, we expect the number to be much higher. About 75% of the time, we eat because we are stressed or bored rather than hungry. Women are known to use food as a coping mechanism more than men. It is one of the reasons behind obesity in women. When you observe your eating patterns, you will realize that hunger isn't the only motive behind eating. Since the popularity of streaming services like Netflix, people find it relaxing to mindlessly eat comfort food while watching their favorite TV show and forgetting about the world. You might think, what is wrong with turning to food for comfort? The problem with stress eating is it is unhealthy behavior. People don't eat an apple or a salad when they are stressed. They resort to junk food like pizza, fries, burgers, pies, ice cream, etc. Food won't make you feel any better or satisfy your emotional needs, and you will also gain weight and inherit other health issues. There is no harm in eating a large meal to celebrate an occasion or treat yourself once in a while. However, if you're dealing with stress by eating, rather than other healthy behaviors like exercising, talking to a friend, or journaling, you are a victim of stress eating. You fail to address the problem and create more issues by eating your feelings. Stress eating also makes you feel worse, as guilt usually occurs after overeating. It is a vicious cycle. You get upset, you overeat, you feel guilty, and you overeat again. When you use eating as a coping mechanism, you deprive yourself of adopting healthy behavior to provide solutions rather than adding to your problem. Food becomes a comfort zone, something you turn to without even thinking. You will feel powerless over food and weak in confronting your feelings. Emotional hunger versus physical hunger. You might not be aware you are stress eating and believe your eating habits are normal. It is significant to differentiate between physical and emotional hunger. Stress eaters struggle to tell the difference as they have become accustomed to dealing with their emotions by eating. You feel a strong emotional hunger when you are upset, sad, angry, or stressed. Naturally, you confuse it with regular hunger. Stress eating is a mindless act. You won't notice how it affects you until you try on your favorite outfit and it doesn't fit. Think of the last time you tried on an old outfit and realized it didn't fit. Trust me, this can be the breaking point that will make you evaluate your eating habits. Distinguishing between both types of hunger will help you battle stress eating. Emotional hunger, unlike regular hunger, isn't a physical feeling like a growling in your stomach. It feels like a powerful craving you can't fight. With regular hunger, you eat anything to satisfy this feeling. But with emotional hunger, you have a specific food in mind. It is often sweets or junk food. You can taste it in your mouth, and nothing else will fill this hunger. Regular hunger is a gradual feeling. You don't suddenly become starving. It isn't the case with emotional hunger, which is an urgent, overwhelming feeling that must be satisfied right away. However, satisfying this urge often results in various negative emotions like guilt and regret. Eating shouldn't make you feel guilty, as you supply your body with the nutrients to stay healthy and active. Nothing can ever satisfy this hunger, no matter how much you eat, unlike regular hunger, when you feel full after you eat. There is a void inside of you, and you are trying to fill it with food. The only result is you overeat, feel bloated, and uncomfortable while still feeling stressed. You will be surprised at how much food you eat when you finish eating. Stress eating is based on an emotional response, so you often mindlessly eat because it isn't real hunger. Regular hunger makes you more aware of your portions, and you stop eating when you feel full. With emotional hunger, food is only a distraction, like watching TV or playing a game on your phone. It's meant to create a barrier between you and your emotions. Instead of confronting them, you distract yourself by eating. Reasons behind stress eating. We all have friends or family with healthy habits when dealing with stress. They don't grab a box of donuts each time they fight with their partner or eat a large pizza whenever they have a bad day. They go for a run, talk out their emotions, or write in their diary. Food provides sustenance, not comfort. It is unrealistic to handle bad days and every inconvenience by eating. Sometimes, our bad days can last for weeks or even months. For instance, if you work in a stressful environment, you might overeat every day to escape the pressure of your job. It will be harmful to your health and weight. There is a reason some people stress eat while others don't. The good news is, it isn't our fault. It is our hormones. According to dietitian Allison Knott, when you suffer from stress, the cortisol hormone levels rise, increasing your appetite, and you feel hungry. Cortisol also makes you crave unhealthy, fatty, or sugary food. If you have chronic stress, this hormone will always be high, leading you to feel real hunger that can only be satisfied by junk food filled with carbohydrates. Food brings us joy. Think of how you feel when you eat your favorite dish or have the first bite of your favorite pizza. Our brains react to food similarly to drugs, although not to the same degree. Foods like sugar or carbohydrates are responsible for releasing dopamine, a chemical that makes us feel pleasure, similar to drugs like cocaine. Sugary food also contributes to the release of endogenous opioids, which cause a pleasant feeling. Compulsive eating is similar to alcohol and drugs. They make us feel good for a short time, but much worse afterward. It's like taking a painkiller for chronic pain rather than seeing a doctor to find a cure. There has always been a stigma around mental health, and that is why many have learned to shove down our emotions. Some people regard feelings of sadness or anger as weakness. Many would rather stay at home, eating their feelings away, than reach out and ask for help. Luckily, we live in a day and age where people are more educated about mental health, and opening up about our feelings is encouraged. We have been taught that food is an effective mood booster. Movies always show people going through an emotional crisis, sitting on their couch, and eating from a bucket of ice cream. Marketing agencies also take advantage of this idea, with ads promoting the notion that food will make you feel better. For instance, chocolate ads show someone having a bad day, but eating one bite of chocolate turned their day around. As a result, we have been programmed to reach out for food because we believe it can make us feel better. There is always food in our homes. You have snacks in your fridge, ingredients in your kitchen to cook your favorite dish, or you can simply order from your favorite restaurant. Food is easily accessible to many, making stress eating more convenient. The COVID-19 pandemic also led many people to stress eating, and why we gained weight during the quarantine. We were sitting at home in a closed environment and following the news of people dying and getting sick. It was a very stressful situation for everyone, and food was one of the few things that provided distraction and comfort. The impact of stress eating on your health. You might think stress eating will only make you gain weight. However, it is an unhealthy habit that negatively impacts your mental and physical health. Weight gain. Weight gain is obvious, but is still worth mentioning. When stress eating becomes a behavioral pattern, it leads to weight gain. You are mindlessly eating, so you don't watch your food intake, which has serious consequences like obesity. Weight gain leads to various health problems like constant fatigue, diabetes, and high blood pressure. However, eating healthy food when stressed will not prevent weight gain. The high cortisol level in your body slows down your metabolism, making losing weight difficult. Guilt. After you overeat, you have a moment of clarity and realize you ate more than you should have. It is when you feel guilty, especially if you watch your weight, and this behavior is ruining your diet. Guilt makes your mood and stress even worse. What do you do when you feel more stressed? You stress eat again. It's a vicious cycle. Guilt leads to other issues like low self-esteem. Ultimately, you start hating yourself for not handling your stress healthily. Heartburn. Your body doesn't digest food easily when stressed. Your stomach releases an acid to speed up the process. Consequently, when you stress eat, you get indigestion and heartburn. When you have chronic stress, your body constantly releases stomach acid at high levels. This stomach acid causes other health problems like GERD. Immune system. You eat healthily, but if you are constantly stressed, the high cortisol levels prevent the body from working efficiently and absorbing nutrients like iron, zinc, magnesium, and calcium. It weakens your immune system and will not have what it takes to fight infections. Remember, your immune system acts as a shield, protecting your body from diseases. Providing it with nutrients will be useless if the stress prevents your immune system from using them. Nausea. When we overeat, our stomachs and body cannot handle large amounts of food, so nausea is a common symptom of overeating. If you have chronic stress and deal with it by stress eating, you will often feel nauseated. Digestion issues. Your body releases cortisol as a reaction to stress. It prepares us to handle the situation. Cortisol focuses on the body functions that keep you alert. The sugar levels in your blood rise to give the brain more energy. Other functions are left unattended, since they will not be much help in a fight or flight situation. One of these functions is your digestive system. As most of your blood goes to your other functions, it does not leave much blood for the digestive process, and the food in your body will not be digested properly. Stress eating negatively impacts your digestion, making you feel bloated and nauseous. Digestive issues can have serious consequences. If you have chronic stress, it can damage your digestive system and cause diseases like gastroesophageal reflux disease and irritable bowel syndrome. Causes and triggers. Now that you know the impact of stress eating on your physical health, you probably wonder how to avoid this unhealthy habit. The first thing to do is to identify your triggers. Everyone is triggered by something that makes us eat mindlessly. Recognizing the most common stress-eating triggers can help to avoid them or become aware that your hunger isn't physical but emotional. Anxiety. One of the main triggers behind stress eating is anxiety. Anxiety makes us confused, worried, and constantly on edge. Food presents comfort, albeit temporary, but people believe it will ease their anxiety. Think of the last time you were anxious. How did you handle the situation? You probably grabbed all the junk food around the house and ate while watching Netflix. Don't feel bad. Many of us deal with our anxiety the same way. However, if anxiety triggers you to stress eat, you must look for healthier coping mechanisms to help you deal with your emotions. However, some people lose their appetite when anxious, as they become overwhelmed with their emotions, and food is usually the last thing on their minds. Winter blues. Some people feel stressed during winter. The days are shorter, the weather is cold, and the holidays can be stressful. Many feel stressed just thinking of family gatherings during the holidays. Also, different foods are consumed during these occasions, making it convenient to reach out and grab your favorite snack to escape your emotions. Diet. There is nothing wrong with eating junk food now and then. However, some people are so obsessed with staying in shape that they go on strict diets. Dieting usually focuses on healthy food, eliminating unhealthy ones. But these restrictions can lead to emotional eating. If you deprive yourself of a certain food, you will always crave it and eat it in large quantities, leading to weight gain and the vicious cycle we discussed earlier. Severe diets also put you in a bad mood or frustrate and stress you, which also leads to emotional eating. Stressful situations. Some situations are so stressful that you cope by eating rather than dealing with them directly. These situations depend on the person. It could be your job, partner, family, or even watching the news. Recognizing the situations that trigger your emotional eating is necessary to overcome this bad habit. Numbing the emotions. We stress eat to escape or numb our emotions. Food offers a distraction from loneliness, sadness, anger, shame, anxiety, or fear. Deep down, we know food isn't a solution, but we keep eating because food provides comfort and an escape from these negative emotions for a very short while. Trauma. Traumatic experiences make life hard. Sometimes you cannot sit alone with your thoughts, as the pain and negativity can be too much to handle. Your thoughts are stuck in the past, living with the painful memories or struggling with the triggers. It makes it hard for you to live in the moment or focus on the future. You always look for an escape from the memories you can neither live with nor change. With so much negativity going on, you direct your thoughts to something positive and more gratifying: food. Victims of violence or rape look for ways to exert control over their lives, since these incidents were beyond their control, yet changed their lives forever. Food gives them control and turns them into victims and abusers. Overeating is how they abuse their bodies, and their inability to stop eating is how they become victims of the abuse. Food becomes many things: a distraction and a tool to soothe the pain, and helps them feel more in control over their lives. Pregnancy. You have probably heard a pregnant woman saying, "I have to eat. I am eating for two." While pregnant women eat more than usual and often have cravings, stress eating is different. You eat even when you aren't hungry, and you cannot control your eating habits. You only stop eating when you get sick, but even this doesn't stop you from overeating when you feel better. Usually, women who stress eat before pregnancy follow the same pattern during pregnancy. Overeating affects your health and your baby's too. Your doctor will struggle to monitor your child's development due to your weight gain, which can lead to high blood pressure, long labor, premature birth, and miscarriage. Filling the void. Some negative emotions make us feel empty inside. It feels as if food is the best way to fill this void because of the pleasure it gives us, even if it is for a few minutes. Sometimes this emptiness results from an unfulfilled life. Maybe you can't find a job, have money troubles, or fail to achieve a big dream. You don't want to think about your failures or what went wrong, so you distract yourself with food instead. The promise of a good meal can be the only thing that gets you through the day. Some people also confuse hunger with boredom. When you don't have anything to do, eating becomes a habit you turn to whenever you are bored. Everything in life is better and healthier in moderation. Overeating has serious consequences on your health and life. You cannot confront your issues or solve problems if you keep eating rather than dealing with them. Stress eating will leave you with more issues to worry about than you began with. You deprive yourself of the chance to learn healthy coping mechanisms to provide you with real solutions. Remember, food only makes you feel better for a couple of hours, but makes you feel worse for days. Stress eating is a bad habit that can feel out of control sometimes. However, I want to tell you that it is possible to get rid of it for good. It will take time and effort, but you are on your way. You have taken the first step, and there is still more to come. Key takeaways: understanding what stress eating is, the difference between physical and emotional eating, how stress eating affects your mental and physical health, triggers of stress eating. Food is only a temporary solution and can't fix your problems. Stress eating is caused by hormones. You can't eat your emotions away. Now that you have become well informed about stress eating, we invite you to go to the next chapter and learn where stress eating starts.